bless him. God bless him. Shout out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all right. I thank him so much for that. You know? Let me see if I think we are live actually right now.
It just went live.
Okay. All right. This is cool. So with that being said, wait a minute. Should I remove this? Okay. Let me remove. Okay, come on. Stop. Okay, I'm good now. Sorry about that, guy.
Okay.
Welcome to Untitled. This is episode 47. And that is I know, hard to believe. We say what we say. And that's just what it is. You say what you mean what you say, all that good stuff. That's why it's going down like this tonight. We say what we say. And I want to thank everybody for joining us live on Facebook, YouTube, hopefully on X, aka Twitter. And thanks to my man for joining me, chopping it up tonight. My man David Sanford. Sorry, I gave out your last name, brother. My bad. Nobody's listening anyway, but it's
all right. Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. As you can hear, everything is good. I can't complain. I'm doing well. Life is good. You know, I'm still blessed to wake up in the morning and stay amongst us the whole day.
There you go.
That's first and foremost
is what it's about.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Everything else we can work out.
How about yourself?
I'm doing well. You know, trying to enjoy a little bit of the summer. You know, working, but you know, it's pacing myself. So you know, I can't complain.
Well, like I said, it's always good to have you on. You know what I'm saying? There's another gentleman I wish he was on with us, but he'll be back at some point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
At some point. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, of course. You know, so let's get into the show, shall we? First thing on the docket tonight, the breakdancing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
This one particular, I think she's from Australia.
Yeah.
Rachel Gunn, aka goes by Ray Gunn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's been taking on a lot of hatred, online hate for her dismal performance. The first thing I have to say is, why are you even there in the first place? I mean, you know, when you think of breakdancing, obviously you're gonna think of, you know, the Boogie Down Bronx here in New York in America, representing America.
Yeah.
You don't really think about other countries like Norway or Australia like that getting into that genre of breakdancing. I mean,
that's not really, that wouldn't be for us older guys.
Right.
That would not be the first thing that comes to our mind.
Right.
I think though, for maybe the newer generation that doesn't really understand the origins or doesn't really care about the origins,
right,
it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But for people of a certain age and generation, it's a big deal.
Right. It is a huge deal.
Yeah.
But again, if I gotta throw this out there, is this the best that your country has to offer? Is that one of your best? Because if it is, then you guys just need. I don't even know if they're going to go forward in 2028 with this.
Yeah, they're not.
Also, they've decided not to.
Yeah, that was a one and done.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've got a lot to say on this, but I want to touch on what you just said about the best of what their country has to offer. To be honest with you, all around the world, are we seeing the best of a lot of things? If you look at and not to really make it serious, because I'm about to do a total 180 and go, you know, more humorous, but you look at our current political state. When was the last time that we presented the best of what we have to offer?
It's been a minute.
You know, so it seems like anybody who has a platform to go out there and you know, either finesse it or people just don't really care. The gatekeepers of hip hop, bringing it back to breakdancing, the gatekeepers of hip hop are not really there to say, hey, you know, I mean, I'd like to know who was on the committee to begin with to determine what that event was supposed to look like.
Right.
Now, I will say a lot of the Asian countries.
Yeah.
Of course, China, Japan, Korea. They have for a while now been
Yes.
doing a lot of the things that our young people used to do back in the days. I mean, you
Yes.
and I remember the times when you mentioned the Boogie Down Bronx, but you remember going to 42nd Street and guys
Yes.
would bring out the cardboard boxes, and
Yes, sir.
that's where it was. It was both entertaining and a way for them to earn a few dollars. That's what breakdancing was.
Right.
So what we saw here from Rachel Gunn, aka Ray Gunn, was unfortunately an extreme version of a lot of the watered down um,
Mm-hmm.
nature of what we knew as hip hop.
Right. Well said, brother. Like I said, I didn't, and again, we touched on this, before the show had actually gone live. The whole Olympics and whatnot. You and I touched on this briefly. I'm not really a big watcher of it as you are. Perhaps I may have been a little bit more interested back in the day, so to speak. When the days of Carl Lewis and
Yes.
such that ilk and whatnot.
Yes.
I was more into it, but now for some reason, I don't know if I just fell out of favor with it due to me being older and seeing what these people. I'm not one of those guys be in a bar or a lounge. USA. No, that definitely has died down within me. So maybe that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? But again, you're trying to introduce these new things or whatnot, and it's just not getting to me. I didn't even want to watch the highlights or lowlights, maybe whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it besides maybe a snippet of what the best of it looked like, as opposed to what this woman did. I saw enough of that because it was all over the internet.
Exactly.
And, but I'm not such a big watcher of the Olympics in general either. There are particular individual storylines that I like. And that I will follow, but to sit there and actually watch these events, I don't. And I think maybe part of it, particularly with the basketball, is that we remember a time when they were strictly amateurs,
right?
And nowadays, I think we are so flooded with all these different players on the high school level, college level. I mean, all you have to do is go on YouTube and you can see these things. So to me, there is no real excitement about seeing them on the Olympic stage because we get to see them whenever we want anyway.
Exactly.
So I don't know, and now it's just it's now it's just every team has NBA players on it.
Yeah.
Every country has NBA players. So I don't know. I don't really get into it now. I will say the drama of the gold medal games, both the men and the women, um, those were some iconic moments, particularly Steph.
Okay.
And, we can talk about that in another segment. But
of course,
as far as the Olympics goes and this breakdancing, and just in general, it doesn't hold my interest. I mean, it started off with the ridiculousness of the opening ceremony, and then you've got this situation where I don't know what this woman thought she was doing, but I've seen some video. Apparently, she's part of a group that's what they do. Her husband is
some type of kangaroo thing. I was like, okay, miss.
So whatever it was, it wasn't breakdancing, and it sure wasn't hip hop.
It wasn't even like moderately appealing whatsoever. You understand? It really wasn't. It was, as a matter of fact, it was embarrassing. And I get, listen, when you are being watched, okay, by millions worldwide, and you make a fool of yourself. I mean, You got to expect that criticism. Period.
Yeah.
So don't cry the crocodile tears and woe is me and all that nonsense. No, you put yourself out there. That was a you decision.
That was definitely a you decision. But it's it also I think begs the question: did she really think that she was not doing well? I think this is what her interpretation of what breakdancing is. It was wrong, but that was her interpretation of it. And I think after she performed, or whatever you want to call it, I think that she was probably satisfied until the backlash, and then realized, oh, well, it didn't go over the way, because I saw some videos of when they're doing these showcases, and the people in there who are watching are applauding it. And if you don't know what's good, it looks like she was a contortionist.
Exactly.
That's what it looked like. Her interpretation of what hip hop breakdancing is, was a contortionist act, which is very different from, because there was no soul in it.
No, exactly. I may have had more respect for her, and her country for that matter, if they just try your best to just blatantly rip off the culture.
Yeah.
And then put it out there. Maybe you would have got a small modicum of respect from me,
right,
and maybe others or whatnot. But to just go out there and basically take a crap on the culture,
you know
what I'm saying? I find that disrespectful. And if you receive the criticism from online and social media, well, it's well deserved, Miss.
Right,
it's well deserved.
Right, because at least if she had even mocked the culture.
Yeah.
In some way, that is showing that she knows what it is.
Right, exactly.
But to go out there and to just totally put her, no pun intended, spin on it, which really looks like somebody possibly having a seizure out there. That.
For real.
But to think that was acceptable,
right? Exactly.
To me, it's almost like the audacity to get up there and think that what you were doing was anything close to what hip hop breakdancing is. Is an insult.
Right, I agree. Let me just mention this one thing that because you had talked about the opening ceremony, and we delved into that previously. Okay, I didn't see it because again, I'm not a big watcher, but I heard the closing with Tom Cruise.
I didn't see anything. I don't know anything about it,
bro.
It's interesting. I am in the whole thing.
Exactly, but somebody told me it was a Tom Cruise being involved and jumping out of airplanes and
like Mission Impossible.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is what I heard, and I totally just forgot about it. I meant to see it like online early if I could on YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
So, but I didn't even donate my time to it. But I was like, really? I was like, I guess this is to not. Let me not. No, I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, you're right. But we don't know which group. It's appealing to. But I don't know. I would think that, and this speaks to again the audacity.
Right.
I would think that if you took criticism and you were truly reflective about it, and owning up to some things, I think that would have been they could have just bowed out of this thing gracefully. Bring everybody together. I don't know how they do closing ceremonies. I'm really don't watch it, but or everybody could march out or whatever, and just maybe shoot off some fireworks and just say, we had a great time, here in Paris, and thank you everybody to all the countries that participated and the people that watched around the world. And see you in the 4 years in whatever the next city is, because they're supposed to pass the torch over to the next city or whatever.
Right. Call it a day.
Call it a day. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses on these.
There you go. Well said.
That would be my thing.
I feel you, brother.
Yeah,
Let's I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, I said no one to fold them.
Yeah, no one exactly. Let's do some moving on to Major League Baseball. Certain superstar. That's why I actually call him a superstar. Yeah. Aaron Judge making history, the fastest to get to 300 home runs, career home runs or whatnot. I think in under 1,000 games, if I'm not mistaken, 900. I think it's 995 is the actual number.
Wow.
I gotta tell you, I gotta be 100% honest, and I'm wrong for this, and I will issue out an apology to this gentleman. After that monster year he had, in which he parlayed it to a huge contract, I thought that was it. I did. I thought that was it. I'm not gonna lie. He has effectively proven me wrong to this point, and he's having a monster season. I can't get mad at it. He has 43 dingers. I think he had like 30 plus. By the All-Star game. Okay, I'm not sure the exact number, but he had 30 plus by the All-Star game. I honestly didn't think he would reach that, to tell you honestly.
Well, I don't follow him as much as I follow some of the others, but living in New York, you can't help it.
Right.
But the guy is really a specimen. I mean, he is this huge guy, not your prototypical baseball player. He looks like he should be able to hit it out of any ballpark.
Right.
I think it's, and this is not to take anything away from him, but he does play in a friendly ballpark, half of the time, but still, he's not hitting cheap home runs.
No.
And I think that as long as he's healthy, he is actually a very gifted athlete. He's more than just an offensive player. He won't hurt you in the outfield either.
No, he won't.
So I give him credit. I mean, I never took anything away from him to begin with, but props to him for going out there, doing what has been expected of him, and that is to hit the big home run. And it's one thing to have the ability, but it's another thing. You're playing under the microscope of New York. You're wearing the Yankee pinstripes.
Yes, sir.
You can't get any more attention placed on you than playing here in New York as a New York Yankee. And still he does what he does. So listen, kudos to him. And the other side of it too is that you don't really hear negative things about him.
This is true.
He stays
he stays clean.
And so I can respect that.
For sure. Before I'm not gonna say I'll say I was kind of critical during that time of free agency of him, always bringing up his injury history. I thought that honestly, I did think he was trying to just like play a money game, like using the San Francisco Giants, who they were definitely interested playing one team against the other, so to speak. I thought that again wrong, and I apologize for that. But this guy, when I see something like this, a stat like this, and it's actually 995 games, 300 home runs. When I see a stat like that, I automatically, this is maybe it's just me being crazy, but I automatically thought about the home run record. I don't know about you, Dave. I don't know if that thought ever passed your, you know what I'm saying?
I haven't, again, I don't really look at him like that well enough to even make the correlation. I think that if he can stay healthy,
right?
But also that home run record is it's there for a reason. I mean, it is not easy. And
No.
and what I mean is, yeah, sure, he can hit home runs, but guys break down. I mean, we look at somebody like Griffey.
Yeah.
You know, he would have at least come very close to that
Yes, he would have.
if he had stayed healthy.
Right.
So over the time, you know, so if you put it at, you know, right around 1,000 games, um, you know, as he gets older and the wear and tear, that longevity thing is something to be seen.
Right.
If he can stay healthy, it definitely has the ability to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
No, you know what I was about to say. I was looking over a list. Now you brought up Ken Griffey. We think about Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds. You would have thought names of that recognition. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would have definitely been in the same realm as Judge.
Right.
The next few names is Ralph Kiner at 1,087 games. Ryan Howard at 1,093 games. Juan Gonzalez 1,096 games, and Alex Rodriguez at 1,117 games.
The beloved Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, yes, Emmanuel Rodriguez, exactly. As I like to refer to him.
Yeah. So,
but you would think those, you know, I wouldn't think those guys before a Bonds, before a Griffey, before Hank Aaron. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild how, if you really look at it, it's amazing, especially in the case of Bonds and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, Bonds essentially had 2 careers.
Right. Well,
you know, and I'll leave that to however people want to interpret that. But you know, the younger, slimmer Bonds was more of a you know, he was fast.
Yes.
Good, solid defensive player. And you know, he could hit the home runs, but that wasn't his game was more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Sense.
Kind of like 5 tool.
Right. Absolutely. And and then the post Pittsburgh, the San Francisco Bonds was a different ball player for whatever reason. But if you want to look at his career, early career, you know, he was not on that same pace.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, let me read off a few things about Aaron Judge. 2017, he became the first rookie in Major League history to compile 45 home runs, 100 RBIs, and 100 runs scored. Okay. Wow. Since his first full season in the big leagues in 2017, Judge is one of just 2 players to have 4 more seasons posting an OPS of 1.000 or better. It was him and Mike Trout.
Wow.
Okay? That's a guy who I thought would have been up there as well. But injuries, you know. Like I said, I gotta give it to him, man. I'm just you know, I was mistaken. I'm not too you know, proud to apologize or whatnot. I mean, I was wrong, and I really honestly didn't think that he would measure up to that career year that he had. And it's looking like he might just I mean, he has a legit shot, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
You know, to do that in like two out of the past 3 years is an incredible feat.
Right.
You know? So,
right. And in an era where players are supposed to be cleaner.
Right, exactly.
You know? Yeah, I mean, I got nothing bad to say about him.
Right.
You know, not a Yankee fan per se, but I respect the game.
Okay.
And his accomplishments. I mean, it is what it is.
For sure. Let's do some moving on into the NFL. I wish we had Ronan on because I wanted to kind of touch on something. Two things in particular. One was the contract negotiations for wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. That was one. I don't know if you know about that situation.
A little bit.
A little same, a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And the other one was I saw a post on Facebook. I don't know if it was from our group or Talking Trash. And that was about this guy, the quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Oh.
Now,
every year there's a new story about him.
Well, this, you know, it's the usual. It's the usual. I mean, if he doesn't get it done this year, is it over for him? I mean,
well, that would be Ronan, definitely that. I have not a Cowboy fan.
No.
Not a Cowboy hater, but I am an enjoyer of their misery.
Okay. So you're like a step below the hater.
Right. Listen, I will sit on the sidelines.
Right. Right.
Because as you know, the Cowboys, their fans, every year this is their year,
of course,
and you hear so much about. Look, I'm a Jets fan, so if the Cowboys last Super Bowl was on VHS, my last Super Bowl was on 8mm. So
I get it. You don't have grounds to really eviscerate them like that.
Exactly, but Jet fans, we get hyped within our own circle,
right?
But we don't go all over social media and talk about how about them Jets and all this other stuff. We sort of just sit on the side and we take the wins and hopefully and at the end of the season we have more wins than losses and maybe a playoff berth. But we don't set ourselves up to be ridiculed. I mean, we talked about Ray Gunn.
Yes.
Ray Gunn putting herself out there for the criticism.
Right.
I feel like the Cowboy fans, they thrive off of being ridiculed.
Right.
In some way. I mean, I know that any of them out there listening to me, they're probably what is this guy talking about. But if you go out there and put yourself out there all the time, and you know that you are just feeding the wolves.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then when it happens, which it has every single year,
right.
And then the memes come flying out and everything like that. I mean, as soon as August hit and the practices started, you started seeing Cowboys fans.
Right, of course.
Talking about, and it's okay, at some point, just win.
Right. At some point.
So exactly. Dak, I don't know if when is going to be enough? When is the year going to be that, what they say, we can't win with this guy,
right?
Or are they in a state of la la land where they think that no, it's going to happen. It's eventually going to happen. No, what's eventually going to happen is Dak Prescott is going to get older.
Exactly.
That's the guarantee.
You know what I find interesting? To me, they're just like a real mystery because the talent is there.
Oh,
that's the scary thing.
Yes,
they have the talent on both sides of the ball. Now, again, I'm not an avid Cowboys fan like that. I don't know specifically, but I've seen this team. I went over their roster, their depth and whatnot, and I'm like, this is not a bad team at all. And realistically, realistically, they should be in the hunt for a Super Bowl. They should be in that conversation, without question. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. Again, let's see. Somebody's joining us. Sire, welcome, Sir Reggie, to Untitled. How you doing, buddy?
Man, it's been a rough week, man. It's been a rough week.
Oh boy. Sorry to hear that, man. Wow. Sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better, brother.
Yeah, I had a day off yesterday, and it don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I had those days.
Well, you're getting closer to logging out for the last time. So
Man, listen here, boy.
Exactly. There you go.
That day, I got up for work this morning, 3:55. Ask me what time I left the house.
What time did you leave the house?
Like 4:40.
Oh man,
I got to be to work at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think I done checked out, man.
Yeah, you going to that next level now.
Exactly. That's bad, man.
It's like, yo, if I get there, I get there. If I don't, then send me home.
Yeah, send me home. That's right.
What's the worst thing that happen? Send me home. That's it.
Yeah.
Sad. But anyway,
do me a favor. Do me a damn favor.
Yep.
You think?
So we were just talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I was just telling David, I wish Rona was on with us at this time. Talking about Dak Prescott and whatnot. I was just saying that this team, they have talent on both sides of the ball. That's the bottom line. Why they can't put it all together and get it right and actually win a Super Bowl. And David, as you put it, they the fans put themselves out there every single year. You know what I live for, honestly, and it's no hate, but I find it comical. It's like when they actually are in the playoffs and they're like a play or two away from turning the tide.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe that turnover by Dak or whoever changes the
yeah.
whole course.
Yep.
The next day.
Oh my
if
God.
You go on YouTube, if you go on YouTube or social media, the next day you see some fan smashing their big screen TV. Oh, hilarious.
Pure comedy.
Yeah, I saw that. What's my man? I think he's from the South somewhere. He might be from Dallas. Hilarious.
Dude, it's hilarious every single year.
The wife is like shaking her head and she's telling me, don't grow up. You got to stop this.
I mean, your last name is Jones. Isn't Jerry like a long lost uncle to you or something?
Yeah. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. No.
Right.
We're not going there. Okay, we're not doing that today. That is now no relation to me. Thank you very much. Okay.
How far back do you want to go?
Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay, the first thing was the reference to that Diddy nonsense that one guy.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Now you're trying to do Jerry Jones. Nah, no.
I mean that's a little bit better than the Diddy thing. So I don't.
That one just fell right in our laps.
I was like,
he can't even be mad at that one.
No.
Are you kidding me? I was looking up at the sky like, are you serious right now?
That's all the love we have for you.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right. Not trying to hear that. You know
but
as
far as Dallas is concerned, me personally, I don't think it's just Dak. You understand? You have 11 people on the team. Listen, you got a head coach. You got to put the man in position to win the game. If you don't put the man in position to get, we already know this dude is not going to win you no games. He ain't going to lose it for you, but he ain't going to win you no games. He ain't
that sounds like a game manager. I mean, are we talking a step above a game manager?
Basically.
Okay, because
I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Not saying he don't have the talent, but he's what? Let's basically say he's Romo all over again.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Romo as
what game? Okay, what game did Romo win? I'll wait.
Well, I can't even answer that.
Exactly.
I can't even answer that.
Exactly.
I can't even answer.
That is the answer.
Box scores.
That is the answer.
Past season games and whatnot.
If you need a game to win, at what point did Romo win the game for you? And at what point did Dak Prescott win the game for you? They the same dude.
Listen, I am not a Cowboy fan, but I will definitely say this. I think Romo has won, maybe not the playoffs, but I believe
that's
he has
when it
won
counts.
an important game. Well, you see, you didn't specify that.
When it counts.
You didn't specify that.
Okay. I mean, everybody listening knew I was talking about the playoffs.
playoffs.
That's like who we was just talking about now. I saw the Aaron Judge thing. I'm like, yeah, this dude is great during the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, where's this Negro at?
Wow.
Oh wow! You know what? I never even thought about checking his numbers for the playoffs, career wise in the playoffs. I never thought about checking that.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's James Harden-ish, but he ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I hear you, bro.
I mean, we seen him at bat, and it's like, yo, what are you swinging at?
Well, he's doing something this year. I'll tell you that much.
I said regular season. Regular season is all fine and dandy. Yeah.
Reggie is an extreme critic. Extreme critic, man. Even I wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Championship or bust, baby. That's it. If you can't get a championship, it means nothing. 100 wins means nothing to me, bro. Nothing.
Wow.
If you can't finish it, oh well.
Yeah.
Damn. Reggie's
on to the next
extremely tough. Damn. Okay. Excuse me, sir. He's extremely tough today.
It might be an odd thing. It might be an odd.
I guess so. It might be catching. It might be catching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might be catching. So it's still in the land of Dallas, though. CeeDee Lamb and his contract situation. Jerry Jones had some things to say. We miss you, but we don't miss you. Was basically the gist.
Yeah.
I think Jerry's getting a little senile. You need to shut up and whatnot. Stop shoving microphones in this guy's face because he's coming off as being an ass. Okay, I personally don't think you should just like throw any shade to one of your best players, if not your best player.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying, on offense.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna put it just like this.
Go right ahead.
Without CeeDee Lamb, all the Dallas Cowboys still making money.
Of course. I
get it going.
It's a valuable franchise. I get it.
Jerry's going to be who Jerry is. He don't care. As long as the greenbacks is coming in, he don't care.
Well, this is true. I'm not going to deny it.
Just like with Dolan. He didn't care what he put out there. People are still going to come see the Knicks. He getting his money.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
We know whose fault it is. The fans' fault.
Right.
Exactly. And I'm about to say the same thing again in the case of Dallas Cowboy fans or whatnot.
Okay.
If your fans are aching for a championship and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? At least a run for it and whatnot. Damn it, you need to have the best players that you can have on your field, especially when you already have them. You understand?
Okay, but
hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Hold on, Reg. Let me finish.
Uh-huh.
So my thing is, unless you want to cause betrayal with your fans or whatnot, because at some point fans are going to get sick. They're not going to support forever. If they see the same fuckery that's going on for years and years, you think nobody wants to be abused forever. Okay, nobody wants to be in a domestic, relationship forever. Domestic abuse relationship forever. I'm just saying.
I'm not in disagreement with you, but you know how it's a business. What have you done for me lately? All right, so last year in the playoffs, we saw what transpired.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb was actually a lamb.
Oh man!
Wow.
He had a bad game.
You can't have bad games at that point, bro.
I get it. I get it.
When the lights is shining, and this is all Jerry is saying. Again, I'm not saying he's right, but at the same time, he's not wrong.
Okay.
I'm giving you how many millions of dollars, and you get to the playoffs, and you give me James Harden numbers.
You're right, Reg. But Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have had a bad generation.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not like they've won anything anywhere remotely recently.
Exactly. As Dave said, during the last time it was a VCR era.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They're living off of the name.
Yeah. How many? That's about 30 years ago.
30 years.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
You think people are gonna keep so? Listen, the only fools to do that. I'm not gonna say the Knicks fans. The only fools to do that, and I believe it because they're just rabid over football, are Cleveland Brown fans. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I've never been to Cleveland, but
well, it's a flyover state anyway. But you know,
yeah.
Man, listen, you ain't missing nothing.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been to Cleveland. You're not missing anything.
I'm sure. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, it would behoove this guy just stop. Listen, stop. You're gonna have these conversations, whatnot. You don't need to have them on camera in front of microphones and this word getting back to this guy. Oh, word. Now here we go. Here we go.
But when hasn't Jerry Jones been that type of person?
Exactly.
Well, you know what? And that's a good point. But he needs to stop because now he's making himself look like an old fool. Okay,
Yeah, so he went from a younger fool.
He's been looking like an old fool for the longest.
He's looking like a much older fool. It's like Dracula reborn. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the coffin. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think he's the ghost of Steinbrenner, but didn't quite get it right.
Right. Yeah.
It's
like when they tried to clone and it just.
Yeah, they didn't get it. Something went oops.
There was a fly in there with him or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big fly.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's get into the next. I don't know if you guys really even want to care to talk about this guy.
Nope.
You know, they said nope. Right away.
I don't like him. I just don't have anything to say.
Oh, okay. I hear you, man. Well,
I mean, what? It was one game.
It was one game. Well, you know, we got to microscope this guy real quick. You know, as the rest of the league and talk pundits have. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy's supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes, so to speak.
My man, listen here. Let's not put that man in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes. We're going to stop. We're going to end that here, right now. It's not going to happen.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm just saying.
But for us to say, listen, let's play a regular season game. Preseason is what it is. Let's play a regular season game, a meaningful game, and then we can have that conversation. Right now, nothing to talk about. As Dave said, I agree.
Nothing to talk about, brother? Okay.
Yeah, so we can move right along.
Okay, well, if we move it right along,
he's a USC quarterback, right?
Yep.
Yes, he is. I get it. I trust you. I'm not a fan of USC.
Top 5 shooters in the NBA all time. Let's go.
All right.
Now, I had got this from DU.
Yes.
Okay. Fucking trash or not. I was like, oh, man, it's interesting. Now, I think his list was Curry. I'm trying to think who else was on there. Was Miller on there?
Yes. Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Yes. But there was a
Larry Bird, I think it was.
Larry Bird was another one. Correct. Larry
and
Bird.
I forget who the other one. I think he said Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I think it was.
I said, I said I'm the one
that was you that said. Okay, maybe I'll go back to the post. Okay. Let me go back to the post.
And I'll even put somebody else out there. What about Kyle Korver?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Korver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll put him up there. I think he had one of the best shooting seasons during the regular season. Matter of fact, let me look this up real quick if you don't mind, guys.
I mean, there's been a few guys that
Craig Hodges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy whose name is escaping me right now, but I was thinking about him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But top 5, you know, I think every list has to start with Steph.
Oh yeah.
Reggie and Ray Allen. I don't think you can go wrong anywhere with that. I mean, Steph learned from his father.
Yeah.
You know,
can we put his father up there as well, or not really?
I wouldn't, but he definitely came from good stock.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, as far as that goes. I mean, Steph Steph is a game changing type of shooter.
Yeah, you got that right.
We could talk about accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys we've mentioned were very accurate,
Mm-hmm.
but they also took shots that were higher percentage for their range.
For their range, okay.
Steph takes shots that would get you benched.
Yeah. This is a fact. Exactly. You already know.
So that's where Steph is different.
Right.
So if we want to talk about pure shooters, there are a lot of guys, and the ones that we mentioned definitely are in that company. But as much as I don't want to celebrate the way Steph does his thing because of the kids that watch it, and I've seen them walk into the gym as soon as they step on the court and they think they're in range.
Right.
Steph, that is a reality for him, but he also works on it so so hard. I mean, it's like he loves to shoot, and I'm talking about not in games. I'm talking about practice.
Yes.
And he works on all kinds of things. This guy is just a different level with this. He's taken it to another level, and he's changed. He's changed where players have to play defense now. You would think when a guy would cross the half court line, you could back off a little bit, but this guy is open. He's in range as soon as he gets 3/4 of the way.
That's insane. To think this is a guy from Davidson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Not really developed.
He looked like a 10th grader.
Yeah, not really developed when he first stepped into the NBA and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's a testament to him because he's worked hard. He's worked hard. Okay.
Yeah.
The handle.
He worked hard.
Yeah, he's worked on the handle, the practicing, the jump shots. I mean, it's amazing when I see this guy come out the tunnel.
Can I tell you before you go any further with it?
Yes,
I have to say that, and it doesn't make me happy to say it, but as a Knicks fan, but the best thing that happened to his career is that he didn't fall.
Because you never lied. You never lied.
Figured out a way to ruin it.
Dave, I was thinking it, and you just took it right from me.
Yeah, you're so correct. You're right. He wouldn't have seen a light of day.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to the point of what I was saying.
No, I'm just saying.
With the shooters, okay. Steph Curry is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Steph is phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. I can honestly say that. But the era of basketball that we all grew up watching, when we were younger, there's no way in the world guys was getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3-pointers a game.
Right.
No, they weren't. Right.
Okay, so now, and I'm not, by no means am I discrediting Curry one iota. Am I discrediting him?
Right.
But there are some shooters back in the day.
Oh yeah.
That could put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
That could put the ball. Now, imagine if they were able to get 9, 10 3-pointers a game, 15 3-pointers a game.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think we would have seen something. Again, not to the extent of what Curry is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say that, but like I said, if they were allowed to shoot the way this man is allowed to shoot, I wouldn't be surprised by what we would have seen.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah. One guy I could think of right off the top of the bat is Pistol Pete Maverick. Pistol Pete could put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
Don't get it messed up for a second.
Well, from what I heard, because we was in the panel earlier, I've never seen him play. I might have seen clips on YouTube and stuff like that. And he was a phenomenal passer, but I didn't know the man could score as well as he could pass. I didn't know that.
Right. Understood.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I think, if I'm going back in memory, maybe I saw him play one game.
Right. I could say a little bit more for myself. You know what I'm saying, David? Yeah. You know what I mean? But that dude. But
I have to give the old guy from Boston, Larry Bird was incredible.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
And so if he had, because not only did he have that range, he had size. Bird wasn't a small guy. If he had that ability to Reg's point, where the 3-pointers were more a part of the game, and then how many guys played back in the game before the 3-point line? So that's where my point is about the guys being accurate.
Right.
Some guys just have a feel for outside shooting, and so wherever they work on their game as being their spot on the court, they're going to knock it down. But those are the shots that for them are high percentage.
Right.
Because they work so hard on that, and that's where I differentiate between them and Steph, because Steph is just he is playing a different game out there.
Yes,
definitely. Like you guys said. Okay, go Rich.
And how they said, okay, how let's go with how Doc came in, changed the way the game was played. How Magic and Bird came in and changed the way the game was played. How Jordan came in and changed the way the game is played. Steph Curry came in and changed the way the game is played.
100%.
How about what's name? He changed the way the game was played. How about Dirk Nowitzki?
Yeah, what? But
no,
it's funny.
No.
Yeah, what I will say is that
because
Dirk good, Rich, good.
I'm sorry not to cut you off, but we've seen somebody before Dirk Nowitzki, and I'm gonna give you all 2 guesses each, and who you think comes close.
I'm gonna take a real dark horse choice, and I'm gonna put him out there. Tom Chambers?
No, close, but no. Go ahead, Dave.
Think Dirk. Position wise?
Same position.
Okay. Okay.
I'm drawing a point.
Okay. Again, I didn't see him in his prime, but I saw him in his later years. Bob McAdoo. Bob McAdoo was tall. Bob McAdoo could shoot just as well as Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
A lot of people forget that. So now, as we sit here and say, change the way the game is played, I've named 4 players the way the game was changed. And now people are emulating those people.
Yeah, you know what? To Reg's point, and I think you're right. I think when I look at Dirk, I always talk about how the game has changed based on. I look at myself when I was a teenager, and I look at the teenagers that I work with. And throughout the years when Dirk was in his prime, you didn't hear kids talking about or trying to emulate Dirk. So I think that Dirk, hell of a ball player, but I think that where he gets a lot of the credit is because while there were others, he really like legitimized the European player in the NBA.
Okay.
Ideal European player.
Yeah.
Can be a superstar in the league. That I think that's where Dirk gets a lot of that credit and gets the shine for. But to Reggie's point, there were others that were like him.
Okay, well, others like him or whatnot, but still.
But as far as game changing, I wouldn't. I look at a game changer like when we were coming up. Jordan changed the game, and every kid wanted to be like Mike.
You got that right.
Steph, I see the kids coming in there and they're trying to shoot like Curry.
Yes.
So those are where the game is changed. I look at how I watch a lot of high school basketball, and I look at how these kids play.
Right.
And you can definitely see the Steph influence.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
People ain't running and dunking like that anymore.
No, they're not. Even the big.
No, they're running to the 3-point line.
Exactly.
Yeah, launching.
I was like, there's no shot blocker. Why are y'all running to the 3-point line?
Yeah.
Game is bad.
It's unfortunately, it's good to see guys like Steph, a guy like Steph, and what he's accomplished and how he's changed the game. But I also have to look at the other side. It's to the detriment of the league in a way. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody's going out to the 3-point line and whatnot. Nobody's playing. And perhaps where I'm going with this too is like with the influx of these Euro players and whatnot and how they seemingly have fundamentals down.
But look at the draft.
Exactly.
Right. So going back to Dave's point, he's talking about as far as the European players. There was one who we saw later in his career, but he was killing people. He played for Portland. He was the center. Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah, I was about to say Sabonis.
Okay, international European player.
Absolutely.
They said over in Russia or Soviet Union, whatever it was at the time.
Yeah,
he was killing everybody.
He was a problem.
Yeah. Yes.
And
we didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
But we seen it with his son. Isn't his son play for Sacramento now?
Yeah. His son is in the league. Yeah. Because when those Olympic teams, USA back in the day, he was the one that they had to concentrate on.
Right.
They couldn't let him get off, and when they actually saw him, he was much later in his career.
Yeah.
Yes.
But from everything that I've heard, because I didn't see him in his prime, but everything that I heard, he was a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I will say, again, going back to the Steph phenomena. I wonder, guys. He's multi-time NBA championship, but I don't know. I think that game, that gold medal game, might have been the most iconic Steph moment.
Oh, by far.
Right.
By far.
Yeah.
That one last shot.
Yeah.
Before he did the night.
Right.
And all the side stories. If you look at the camera angles, the mellow, he's there. Marbury's got the camera. Pippen is taking off his clothes.
Right.
I love when he looked at Melo and him and said, "Don't worry about me."
Yes. Yeah.
Right. I love that.
I got to say that one. If there wasn't, there were a couple of Olympic moments. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
When Sha'Carri, passed the woman and looked at her, and then hit the next gear. That was a moment. But I replayed. I saw a really nice video where they had dubbed some music over and everything. But that moment with Steph, that was it. I think that was his iconic moment of his career.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
I could believe that.
That was the show. 60 points in the last 2 games.
They said that he didn't get hot until his wife got there.
Well,
because earlier in the earlier rounds, he was struggling, and then they said when his wife showed up,
when she got the powers.
Yeah, look, listen, whatever motivates you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
Well, at least it was who it was.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true. I mean,
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that speaks volumes.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like the anti-Kardashian effect.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Right. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the voice of that nonsense? Let's I think we're in a little bit of a miscellaneous. Where we just take on anything and everything. No, it's no. Here we go. You see, he wasn't here earlier. I said to Dave, I said I'm feeling in a nice mood, so nothing bad.
Yeah.
I've been pretty good so far, thank God.
Right. We've got to slightly unhinged.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised I haven't been red flagged for the last one.
Well, maybe if we had more viewers.
Yeah, this is the beauty about being underrated. This is
we're out here if you ever want to see, but that's on you. If you ain't checking for us, then
exactly. Good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to get into this conversation that we had within our group text about all it took was I hate Drake.
Yep.
That opened the floodgates.
Yep.
Let me ask you guys a question. Besides hip hop, is that even R&B anymore?
I don't know because I don't listen to the radio,
and neither do I. That's why I'm asking.
There are some artists that I am, somewhat familiar with that I think are really talented. One of my favorites out of the newer generation of R&B, if you could call it that, even, is her.
Yeah, I like her. Okay.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And if I don't want it to sound rainbowish, but if you're into guys, there's this guy named PJ Morton. Nice.
I'm not familiar with him.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to check him out because I'm always looking for new music to
same
add to. I like this also and of course now that I want to say their name, I can't think of their name. So
right.
Majid Jordan.
Nah.
They are it's actually two people. They're out of Canada. They're actually aligned, I think, with Drake's camp. But speaking of Drake, but they
might have lost a few people with that one. I think.
Yeah, I know, but they're not Drake.
Okay.
They make some really good music. One guy's a singer, one guy's a producer. I like their stuff.
Okay.
There's another one. See, I'm also going back to the Drake camp, but there's Division, DVSN.
Wait, hold on, time out.
Yeah.
What's with you in this out of the Drake camp nonsense? What's happening?
Well, because to get away from Drake himself,
right.
There's actually some good music that's coming out of Canada.
Okay.
And so the ones that I named are Canadian, but I do like their stuff. So Division is another one that I like. Ro James. So there are some younger guys, and when I say younger, they're 30s.
Okay, right.
That make some really legit music that get a lot of play. Well, I don't want to say they will get a lot of play on the radio because I don't listen to the radio.
Right. Same.
If I'm in my car, which is the only time that I really have the radio on, I don't have it in the house. If I'm in my car, I'm listening to. I'll tell you, I'm listening to either Sirius XM, playing something off of iTunes,
right.
or as crazy as it sounds, I listen to Light FM, and
okay.
yeah, love the 70s and 80s sound, and I listen to. I also have a very affinity to classic rock.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sirius
That's like
XM
my vibe.
channel 330. You listen to them.
Okay.
It's R&B music. They
Okay.
have old,
Right.
they have new, they have
Yeah.
a nice mixture, nice blend. I should say.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They have a nice mixture of old and new.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, like it's funny when you talk about like style, music, even fashion to an extent, where we were once the kids have now turned into our parents. You understand? It's crazy.
Yes.
How with the whole cyclical it is. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man, because like I have my daughters and whatnot, and I'll hear this stuff. I'm like, okay, what?
Right.
Dad, you don't like that? That's hot. I was like, no.
It is whatever the polar opposite of hot is. That's
exactly. I'm like,
listen,
no.
I take my oldest daughter to karate class.
Right.
So she, I have my little YouTube music on.
Right.
And she wants me to play. I can't even tell you the freaking person's name.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. I humor her.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 30 seconds in, I'm like, negative.
Yeah.
Bro.
30. I'll give her at least 30 seconds, and she knows every lyric to the song. I'm like, what the heck are you saying?
How could you? I'm going to tell you right now. I think I told this to you guys before. I was so my coworker, because actually this is at work. One of my coworkers, he had showed me this video on YouTube, and I think it was for a BET Awards. Maybe not this past year, but maybe in about a year or two ago.
Watch that and so.
Yeah, me neither, and I don't care to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. First of all, they had a clip of the God, Rakim, on the stage performing in front of a multitude of people, and this crowd was dead.
Yeah.
Dead. He's performing one of his classic joints. They follow that up with some. I forgot this young lady.
Sexy Red.
Oh my God.
Negative.
This chick starts singing this song, and the crowd is going berserk.
Yeah.
I'm watching this, and I'm like, are they freaking kidding? I couldn't even believe it, man. And some of because the camera will pan out and show the audience. These are not all young people, by the way.
No.
These are not all young people, by the way.
No, they're not.
They're people near our age, maybe even
older.
And I'm like,
and trust me, if they look old on TV, they look even older in person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, yo, are you kidding, bro?
No, it's Reg, I hate being that guy. I really do, because I remember the challenges I had, and we all coming up. My father used to call it that bumpity bump music. And I'm trying to tell him, no, this is hot. No, this.
But at least it was music at the time. We don't even know what the heck this is now.
And there was literally rhyme and reason to it. This thing here that these kids listen to. I was saying in the group, how I think that these kids have not been trained to really understand what lyricism is and what it should look like, what it should sound like, and so they just get what the radio says is hot, and all it is just it's repetitive, and they're just chanting the same lewdness over and over and over, and they're excited about it.
Right, exactly.
Listen,
I hate being that guy. Trust me, I hate it. But
I have listened to the radio. I have listened to the radio. Right? Let's say not 9 o'clock. Let's just say it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the time 10 o'clock comes around, you done heard the same song at least 3 times.
No, absolutely.
For sure.
100%. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I've gotten into too, which has restored my faith in a lot of the younger kids. I like to watch reaction videos on YouTube. And a lot of these young people in their 20s and early 30s to mid 30s, they're being introduced to a lot of the older music.
Right.
And they get a following. People say, well, have you heard this one? Have you checked out that? And they're hearing it, and they're actually receptive to and then they wind up liking some of these artists, whether it's R&B or hip hop, or actually some of them cover all genres. They do rock and they do country and so forth, but their eyes and ears have been opened.
Good.
And then they ask for more. Send me more of
this.
Good.
I like that.
So my faith is definitely restored in that. But just for the everyday teenager that I speak to, they're not even receptive to it. And I don't want to be hypocritical and say, well, I'm not receptive to theirs either. But it pains me to listen to a lot of that stuff, and just because it is the highest level of irritant to me.
You know what? I don't like this guy, but I definitely may have to agree with him. When Kings of Comedy, Steve Harvey.
Oh yes.
Okay.
He had made a statement about
I know where you're going with this
music and whatnot, and what was missing is the love factor. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the R&B, they sing about any other thing. They sing about money. They may sing about sex, whatever the case may be. But where is the love? You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they all do it.
They don't want to. They don't want to promote that.
No,
they don't want to promote that. Exactly.
They want to keep. They want to keep it divisive. They want to keep it the way it is.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Now remember, back in the 60s, 70s, and even 80s, there was movements going on.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can appreciate it now because the stuff that they putting out now, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. R. Dave, I'm like, I actually need a translator.
Absolutely.
I need a translator to understand what the heck is going on.
Yeah. You know what I think also was lost is when they took music out of the schools. Even if you look at, you mentioned Rakim, and Rakim talked about listening to jazz and almost like how his cadence mimicked like the saxophone, and so they understood instrumentation and musicianship. And so when they put together, and I was talking to a buddy of mine once, and he asked me about Queens and how come there were so many good groups and MCs that came out of Queens, and not saying that they didn't come out of Brooklyn so much, but he knew I was from Queens, so he asked about it. And Queens has a real musical legacy because a lot of the jazz artists moved to Queens. Over there off of in St. Albans, Linden Boulevard, by the Veterans Hospital, and all around there. We have a mural up there with all. So that was a hot spot. I mean, anyone from music legends to like Lena Horne, James Brown,
of course.
I think even Jackie Robinson might have had a place over there.
Miles Davis.
Yes, all of them. That's where they went and they had children. They raised their children. So growing up in that area, kids were introduced to a lot of that music, jazz and so forth. They heard it, parents played it, they learned about it. So when they got into hip hop and the sampling and the taking apart and dissecting, they understood the technical side of putting together a song.
Right.
And then they replicated that and updated it to that time. And so there were a lot of, if you talk, even Nas's father was a jazz musician.
Yes.
And so they credit that because jazz, like hip hop, was heavy on the improv.
Exactly.
Okay.
I tell you, like my father, God rest his soul, was a jazz drummer. You understand? So
Right.
back in the day, and I was probably a toddler running around, snotty nose, didn't realize the luminaries that were coming over to my parents' place.
Yeah.
Guys like Lionel Hampton, even to the extent Miles Davis as well. And I'm like, my brother's telling me this as an older one. I'm like, what? He's like, well, you wouldn't know because you're a little kid, you know? Yeah. But it was just amazing how they would get together and whatnot, and that whole like in my basement. I had the albums and all that stuff, man.
I remember.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
I played the guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I didn't have
the talent like others, but
I'm gonna tell you my introduction into music. My introduction into music was Saturday mornings after the cartoons and stuff went off.
Of course.
We had Soul Train on.
Yep.
Then after Soul Train, after Soul Train went off, now it's time to clean.
Yep.
So now my mother and my father, and I'm not going to say it didn't happen in a single parent home, but my mother and father, you understand, they put on music while we was cleaning.
Yeah, of course.
That was I'm listening to music from the 60s. I'm listening to music from the 70s, 80s. So I'm getting a whole, shebang of it.
Yeah.
As far as rap music for me coming up, and this is me, and I don't knock anybody who loved it, disliked it, whatever. I'm leaned more towards R&B and soul music more than I did rap music.
Right. Okay, that's understandable. That's understandable because you were heavily influenced
by
your upbringing. You're heavily influenced. Listen, I can't mad at that.
Right.
So it's like I try to play music for my daughters. You understand?
Yeah.
I try to introduce them to it. Like my youngest daughter.
Are they receptive?
Yeah, hey, my youngest daughter knows this one song by BBD.
Oh,
okay.
I can get her to come in here right now and say, "Oh, Dave, you want to sing Run With Me?" And she knows the words. She knows everything from front to back. And I'm like, it's funny.
I gotta tell you, since you talked about your daughter, I gotta tell about mine, my oldest one now. She has an old soul. I find that I find that amazing.
Same with my youngest daughter. She has an old
matter
soul.
Matter of fact, her and her boyfriend, they went to recently, I think to Brooklyn, to see MC Light.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was outdoor. They had MC Light. I believe they had Rakim as well. Yeah, so she's into old school and stuff like that. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah. my son is early 30s.
Yes.
And I introduced him to a lot of the older rap artists, like the Rakim. He reminds me of how I had him listen to Rakim and broke down his flow and lyricism. And he said what that did was that helped him to recognize the difference between what was good and what wasn't good. He said because prior to that, he's in elementary, middle school, and he hears somebody rapping, he didn't necessarily know whether it was good or not.
Right.
because he didn't understand that it was something that was actually in a skill, an art form, and he said that opened his eyes to a lot of things, and then he started listening differently.
Right.
He likes a lot of the 90s. And his era when he was in high school would have been, the G Unit era, and so forth. But one of the things that is so disappointing, I think, and I only really see it in hip hop and rap, is that the young are in the younger generation. They're like in competition somewhat with the older generation, and maybe it works both ways. Whereas in other forms of music, it seems like they celebrate more of their history. And so I don't know. I don't know why. And again, I think it works both ways because
it does.
I don't really like their music either. But going back to the musicmanship, and you guys were talking about parents and influences. In my household, music was a large part of it, but it wasn't pop music. It wasn't the contemporary. My father was a very skilled pianist.
Yes.
He played Carnegie Hall, and he put himself through school playing in church. And he's from Los Angeles, and so his background was teaching music. I mean, he was an educator, but his background was teaching music, and so our house, we often entertained people who were in the industry, opera singers, jazz, and so forth. But my father was classically trained, so that was the music of my father. My mother didn't listen to as much music like that, but I have an older sister, 8 years older than me, but that's where I got my current things from. She was teenager, I was a little kid, so she would play Motown and all of the the songs that were popular. And then when I was younger, I only had an AM radio. So I got a lot of what people
WWRL.
Right. WWRL, exactly.
And so I listened to a lot of the rock songs because I didn't have an FM radio, and our music, if you want to call it our music, came on FM. But when I got to be a teenager, it was right at the time that hip hop was really breaking onto the scene, and I got immersed in that. And then, of course, as our growing up where we grew up, we had Run DMC and LL.
Exactly.
Living, basically blocks from us. And hung out, right with us. And so I became immersed in hip hop. So I'm saying that to say, though, today I don't see that the kids. I don't see where they are the creators. They're more the consumers. When we were coming up, hip hop, we felt like we were part of the movement. And today's kids, I don't see them as being a part of something. They listen, they consume, but I don't get the sense that they feel a personal investment to the music. It's just something to listen to. I think that's what makes it different, and that's why we hold on so much to it, because we were a part of the creation of this phenomenon. When it used to just belong to us.
Right. And that was it. That was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you guys are correct, man. You guys are correct. On point. Definitely. So, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna close it out. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, this was good topic.
This was good. Exactly.
Great topic.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks, David. Thanks, Reg.
Yeah.
And
thanks.
You know, of course, I'll provide the platform, and we'll be on again next week. All right.
All right, fellas.
Absolutely, guys.
So peace and blessings, brothers.
Yeah,
have a great one.
Definitely have a great one, brothers.
All right now.